Greetings. Shalom, shlama. Peace be upon you and with you. Blessings from the Most High Maria Allah, or God, and His Son, the Multa, the manifestation of God. God made incarnate in the flesh, revealed to all Israel, who is the Mashiach or Messiah, Isho Mashiach, Jesus the Messiah, of which Allah, God, is the embodiment of that manifestation, with that which was hidden, not revealed. Okay. God was hidden, God was known, but He wasn't revealed. In other words, people couldn't see Him, as He said to Moses. If a man looks upon God, he will surely die, because He's too glorious, too righteous, His countenance is too bright, etc., etc. Okay. It's in the book of Exodus, or Liberation. So God is the embodiment of that manifestation which was eventually revealed, that which was God revealed, God incarnate in the flesh, who came to earth, and He spoke with certain men, Galileans, etc., i.e. His disciples, who then revealed all that He stated to others. Then eventually Paul, and then carried on from there. We are the ministry of the real truth, and we always strive to bring you the real truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And we are the only ministry to bring you that real truth, that whole truth, and only that truth in regards to the scriptures, from the original ancient, very old, sacred, scribal old tongue, or language. This is a long dead language, but it's been revived by a native born fluent Aramaic speaking translator. He is fluent in many dialects, including the Syriac, called Victor N. Alexander, from Pt1 in the Greek Mesopotamia or Syria. He's had 15 years experience of translating these scriptures and filmmaking, and he's a graduate of the San Francisco Film Academy in the USA. So he knows what he's talking about. Yeah, again, we are the only ministry to bring you the real truth, the whole truth, and nothing but that truth in regards to the scriptures, from the original ancient or very old, sacred, scribal, old tongue or language, the Leeshana Ateeqa Suppraya, or the Assyrian Aramaic, of the Assyrian Aramaic, or Ktav Ashuri, or Ashuri. Go find an Assyrian, a native born Assyrian, and ask them, what is this Ktav Ashuri, or Ashurit? They'll probably tell you it's Ashuri. This Leeshana Ateeqa Suppraya. Find one and ask them to verify that what we're saying is not all gobbledygook and doo-doo, and that we're not lying, deceiving anyone. It's actually fact. Go find a native Assyrian, right, that speaks good English, that will tell you about that. Right? We have talked with several Assyrians to verify certain facts. They won't really talk to us about their history. Some of them hate their history. They're quite surprised that we actually know of their ancient church, their religion, their history, etc., and that we can pronounce their wording really well. Okay? This is in the comments that we've received from these people under different videos. Okay? And we've also talked to Syrian people that were here, that lived here in New Zealand, in Auckland Queen Street, when they had a protest against ISIS apparently going in there, invading Syria, and kicked them out of their houses, that sort of stuff. Okay? So we verified with this man that was standing there protesting, hey man, I came across this guy supposedly from Pt1. He speaks this many dialects of Aramaic, and he says this and he said that, right, and he's referring to these original ancient, very old Aramaic translations, etc. And the guy listened intently to all that I asked him, or said to him, relayed to him, and he said, that guy is actually spot on, he's correct. Yeah? The ancient language is not spoken anymore in the East, it's a dead language, but he reckons some, or even this translator reckons that some people, older people there, can speak it, but they can't translate it, what it means to you in English, because they don't know English. So what this Syrian churches do is they use this old language as liturgy. It's only read in the masses, right? But they've created a modern vernacular. They use the Syriac and also the Arabic. Okay, when this guy says, "Yeah, that guy is spot on," and then he went about his way. We've come across other Assyrians, and they're basically said the similar thing, right? We've even got an Iranian friend, a Persian friend, right? When we ask them certain questions about the Persian Aramaic, that the Aramaic possibly came from Iran, where he comes from, or Persia, he says, "Yeah, that's spot on, right? That's where it came from," even though he doesn't like, the Aramaic or whatever. And I think he prefers the Zoroastrian religion. Okay, and Islam's taken over their country, right? And some people don't like that. They want to go back to that old Zoroastrianism. So the winged disc icon of Mesopotamia is very similar to that Zoroastrian winged disc icon. So it may have originated from there. Okay, it may have. You have to go do your personal research on that. Look at that history. But people from there, Iranians, into that Zoroastrianism, etc. It says, "Why have you got our icon?" We actually got the Mesopotamian one. But they say, "Why have you got our icon on your chat post or whatever? Okay, as your picture icon, right? Your image." It says, "Well, it's the Mesopotamian one, right?" And he says, "Oh, that looks like our one, but the difference is the man in the middle, in the center, is holding a ring, big ring, right? And it has looks like bird legs. Okay, that's the Zoroastrian Persian one, but the Mesopotamian one has a smaller man in it, wearing a crown of righteousness, and no legs, no chicken legs or bird legs, right? And has wings, which aren't actually wings, etc., etc. That signifies the triune. Okay, that verifies it. Okay, so why we're doing this is because, okay, we'll go over that again, what we were left off. We are the only ministry to bring you the real truth, the whole truth, and nothing but that truth, in regards to the scriptures from the original ancient, very old, sacred scribal, old tongue or language, the Leeshana Ateeqa Suppraya, Assyrian Aramaic or Ktav Ashuri, or Ashurit, the sister language of the original ancient or very old Ktav Ashuri or Avri, the original ancient or very old Hebrew. This translator, Victor N. Alexander, found a way to revive that language, supposedly using the root words, and that's how he could translate from this original manuscript in Bible format that he bought from a high priest from the original or the revived apostolic church of the East, from a high priest who told him, if you verify with him, if you can get hold of him, that he was translating using the Syriac, that was incorrect. He should be using the ancient Ktav Ashuri, right, the Syrian Aramaic. So he had to do it all over again, right? Okay, so that's where he's coming from. He's not using the common Syriac that everyone else boasts they know and that they're better than him at it. He says this, he says that, he's all wrong. He's actually using a different one that he's revived, possibly the Ninevite Aramaic. That's what he was saying. Okay, so it's very different from your common Syriac that you boast you learnt at the universities. You got the pretty little degree and all this sort of stuff, right? Okay, he's fluent in those dialects. You're not, so he doesn't really give a toss. Okay, because he's a translator and he knows it better than you, right? Yeah. So try convince a person fluent in a language that you know it better than him. Doesn't work. Okay. Yeah, why we're doing this in our channel is we're trying to reveal to you the real truth, right? As we state, the whole truth and nothing but that truth of the original manuscripts, the hidden and preserved for over 2,000 years. This is attested by Patriarch in 1957 of that revived apostolic church, Ma Isai Shamun, who was assassinated. He was a patriarch in 1957. He was assassinated apparently in 1975. This is all verifiable by an Assyrian member of that church or patriarch, head of the church. Right, go look at the different interviews if you can. You can find them, and they reveal all that. We don't make assumptions or make it up, right? Or write it as we go along. We're getting it from these original hidden and preserved manuscripts, whether it be in the Ktav Ashuri or the New Testament Galilean Aramaic, which Christ and his disciples spoke, right? Etc. etc. Because today you have the modern Americanized versions, okay? Americanized modern versions. This is the New English Bible with Apocrypha. It probably came out in 1957 or 1970, something like that. It's still an Americanized Bible version. We have a video by a guy called Brian to verify that we're not making it up and talking doo-doo, right? Here's the NIV, Red Letter Study Bible. Okay? It's a modern, Americanized modern version. Okay? And we have plenty more around here somewhere. Okay, here's a New American Standard, Americanized version. Here's a Great Commission New Testament, similar, right? The Journey, similar, right? And you probably have, what's this one? I think this is an old JW one. Yeah. Yeah. But that's where they're all coming from. Yeah, through this Bible Society, American Bible Society, and when they're coming from that, right, way back in history, we could provide the Brian video underneath. Sometimes we forget, or we can look at another video that we've done of it. We'll just go have a look at the American Bible Society's American Bible Society and their lives. There's a guy, Brian, with glasses, and he explains it to verify that we're not pulling the wool over your eyes, or the hat over your eyes, or telling you a whole lot of doo-doo, as some people claim we are, right? Okay, again, why we're doing this, because you have these American modernized versions of the scriptures in Bible format, which are not translations of the original ancient or very old Aramaic or Hebrew or Koine Greek, as told you or sold you by all your church leaders, etc. But they're not the original manuscripts, but copies of copies of copies of copies of copies, or revised versions, rewritten, re-edited, etc. Bits added, bits taken away, mistranslations, bad interpolations, etc., etc. Okay, they're Americanized Bible versions. They are not of the original manuscripts. Okay. These will be the new KJV, came out in around about 2000, year 2000. Your new NIV, your anything, you know, that you read from that's supposedly translated from the original Greek, that Christians will pull out, you know. Okay, supposedly, according to this Aramaic translator, Victor N. Alexander, he did a top 10 list, 1 to 10, okay, of all the organized religions like the Mormons, the JWs, etc., right? And his number one at the top was the Jehovah's Witnesses, because he said on his website, statements, right, that it's the closest to that original Aramaic. They might have some funny ideas, like Jesus is created, or he's the Archangel Michael, or they're the only 144,000 getting into heaven, according to Revelations, all that sort of stuff. There's millions of them, right? Devotees, all that sort of stuff. They might have silly ideas like that. But he says, you know, or you got Christians, churches, whatever, saying, oh, it's all grammatically wrong, it's all this or that sort of garbage. Well, maybe that's rubbish, because if you look at it like this, they've got some sort of hidden motive, agenda, or they're propagandists, right? They're at the top of this ladder. They want to get to the top of this hierarchy ladder, right? And stay there. So what do? They got to slander the other ones, kick them off the rungs, kick them down, keep, you know, trample on them, you know, defame the competition, the opposition, to be that number one. How do we know that? They boast, we are the chosen of God. God talked to us in a dream. We've got the true translations. You haven't. Okay, it's KJV. It's all preserved, all that sort of stuff. You're the devil. You're Satan. You're going to hell, right? We're not. We're the chosen. We're the elite. We're the only ones that are. Okay. When they start talking like that, that's a clear sign. You know, they got a big ego, and they're probably telling a lot of poo-poo, right? Okay. That's the whole structure of it. We've experienced it, so we know what we're talking about. Different people come in and say this, and doing their little tricks, sneaky little tricks, to try and get us to their church, right? Go to another one. Oh, we're not like that. We're not like that. They do the same thing. So go to another one. Happen to meet some Christian. Whatever. Go to the one. We're not like that. Come to our one, okay? So we go to the one. They're exactly the same, right? And like we're talking to Christians, whatever, on the street, and they start getting all nasty. Why is that? You know, start acting like a kid that's been deprived of a candy in a candy store, right? Start having tantrums, start trying to over talk you, loud, saying, "Oh, you're the devil," or that sort of crap. You know, they have no control over their mouth, right? Their tongue. So they're like, we see them as actors, role players, wannabes, trying to impress the ladies, etc., etc. Sometimes they're just doing it, not realising it, not thinking about it. But Sunday they'll be in the church. Holy, holy am I. Look at me, I'm the man. Then Monday, oh, yeah, do the drugs. Where's the bong, bro? Where's the alcohol? Oh, where's those loose woman, right? So on Sunday, they're holy. On Monday, they're alcoholic, right? Okay, that's the truth of the matter. That's fact. Not trying to pull the wool over your eyes or tell you a whole lot of doo-doo. Okay, so all Bible versions, including the NIV, etc., etc., are revised, rewritten, republished publications stemming from the Hebrew to Greek to the Old Latin, from the Old Latin, German, from the Old German or Germanic to the Old Latin to Old English, etc., probably Shakespeare speak, into modern Americanized or colloquial English, because that's what the language is. It's colloquial English. Throughout the centuries, from Martin Luther, who was a Roman Catholic, to Tyndale, Wycliffe, etc., who were Protestants. They were protesting against the Mother Church. The Roman Catholic Church, they wanted changes, so they were called Protestants. The Protestants, right? It's like calling someone an invalid. Being nice and saying you're an invalid when they're actually invalid. They're no good to anybody, right? Work-wise, job-wise, whatever. Go define those words. Don't take our word for it, but that's what it means. Again, we're not bringing you some doo-doo or trying to pull the wool over your eyes. Through the centuries, from Martin Luther to Tyndale to Wycliffe, all translations are incorrect, are using incorrect terminology, Western terminology, and that's why these mistranslations, bad interpolations, and contain errors and contradictions, etc. And people are scrapping over, who's got the right version, who's got the wrong version. No, you're right, we're wrong. It says here, no, it says there. No, you're going to hell because you didn't interpret it right. All that sort of crap. Satan, you're speaking Satan, all that sort of crap, right? Or you're a coward because you won't relinquish your name and all that sort of stuff, so they can try and find a dirt on you and they squash you under, right? So we're victorious. We're the number one. We just knocked down that competition. We defeated them. All that sort of stuff. It's all propagandic. You got to go and do your personal research fanatically, right? Every day in the Word of God. Do that research, etc., to know it better than the next person that's coming at you with a whole lot of doo-doo, right? So you can say, it's not what it says, bro. Can you not read? Here, borrow my glasses. What level of school did you do? You're not reading it properly in the black and white. That's not what it's saying. Stop twisting it. Stop adding your own flavour. Stop talking doo-doo. Okay. So all are printed, published and put out into the world by the American Bible Society, along with their lies. Okay, we'll provide the link to that Brian video, right? And similar societies, the American Bible Societies and their lives. Go look for it for yourself if you want after this video. So the people who read you from the new KJV, new NIV, Living Bible, Amplified Bible, whatever, are reading from Bibles originally translated possibly into a Latinized form of Greek, modern Aramaic or Syriac, and modern Hebrew, Israeli Hebrew, right? Not from the original preserved or hidden manuscripts, ancient old manuscripts, right? They're all copies of copies of copies of copies, right? And many will say we have the correct text versions from the original languages, Aramaic, Hebrew, Greek, etc., but they do not. They are lying. Okay. Some of late are also making up Hebrew, right, and trying to convince their people they have a pure language, etc., and they call God Yahu Washi Washi, Yahu Woo Woo, Yahu O, Olim, and other non-Hebrew or Aramaic Greek names. Watch out, because they're full of crap, right? Because we've asked a professor, James D. Francisco, with 2 doctorates, 2 PhDs in Aramaic and Hebrew, Is God's name Yahoo Woo Woo, or Yahoo Washi Washi, or Yahoo Puppy Puppy, whatever, right? Buddy Buddy, whatever they want to say. Okay? It's not true. He says, what's that rubbish? Okay, and that guy's video is the Aramaic Scriptures, James D. Francisco. Okay? But they're saying things like, well, we're actually the true Jews because we're black Jews. We've got the original Scriptures. It's not for you, white man. You know, all this sort of stuff they've never seen you. What you look like they've never met you, etc., etc. But they're making all these accusations, right? It's for us, only us, not you crackers and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, a whole lot of rubbish. So don't be deceived. We at the Ministry of the Real Truth will now bring you the hard facts, evidence or proof from the original ancient, very old manuscripts and the original ancient sacred scribal old tongue of the ancient Old Testament prophets like Moses, Isaiah, etc. They spoke that and they wrote it. If they actually wrote those books, most of them are attributed to them. They never wrote anything. Like Moses never wrote any books. They were just, the Jews just put a name to that, right? They attributed it to Moses. You go ask a real Jew, they'll tell you, you know. They admit to you, well, they should. Yeah, so we at the Ministry of the Real Truth will now bring you the hard facts, evidence or proofs from the original ancient, very old manuscripts and the original ancient sacred scribal old tongue of the ancient Old Testament prophets like Moses, Isaiah, etc. The language used by them, the Leeshana Ateeqa Suppraya of the Syrian Aramaic or Aramaic from the original ancient, very old Ktav Ashuri, the older sister language of the ancient or very old original Hebrew. Yeah, the Ktav Ivri. Yeah. We will show and compare certain verses to prove beyond a doubt what was really said in 800 BCE in the original manuscripts of the Old Testament, and in the New Testament, the original ancient, very old Galilean Aramaic that Jesus and his disciples spoke. Yeah. Again, not trying to pull the fluff with the wool over your eyes, put fluff over your eyes. Sorry, give you hype and fluff. In doing this, it will not only bring you what was being said originally from the original ancient preserved, hidden and preserved manuscripts, hidden and preserved by the original apostles of Apostolic Church founded by Thomas, from the Roman Catholics and the then Mohammedans or Islam, right? Who just basically wanted their land. They says no idols, please. So they just used icons. Yeah, we bring you links of sources or links to sources to our sources, established facts by the top experts, not some mamby-pamby PlayStation 4 game player down in grandma's basement, right? Pretending to have all the qualifications and knowing what he's talking about when he doesn't. Okay. Yeah, bring you the established facts, proofs, etc. by the top historians, because apparently, according to Bart D. Ehrman, a top theologian, he says the only ones that really know Bible history are the historians, right? And you probably got the odd archaeologist, etc., etc., that knows as well, and top theologians like himself. Okay, it'll report to you to prove all as fact, as real evidence, etc. And that we at the Ministry of the Real Truth are not deceitful, liars, or Satan, or of Satan, or speak Satan's language, or cowards, liars, because we won't reveal our name, address, phone number, date of birth, social security number, telephone number, etc., etc., right? Privacy matters, man. Come on, man. Are you going to do the same for us? I don't think so. Okay. Yeah, so we're not deceitful, we're not blasphemers, and as many of late have tried to label us, even after we provided them with solid evidence from the original ancient manuscripts, right? We just keep providing them with evidence, and they keep denying it, right? The facts, the evidence, the proofs, etc., right? Because they're trying to establish their organised religion or their opinion, their belief system, right? Okay, got a stamp on you, squash you, take you out, and then say, I defeated them, all that sort of crap. Okay, yeah, so again, we have a policy. We keep telling these people throughout our videos, we have set ourselves a policy we believe in, and we strive hard to live by it. Okay? Who does that these days? Okay? No one's word is their word. They don't keep it. They make promises and they break them. A couple of minutes later, right? Or like someone says, I'm a Christian, and then when you're talking about it, it just comes up. What did they say? What are you talking about that crap for? It sucks. It's like, well, dude, you just said an hour ago you're a Christian. You're just one that likes to impress the ladies with that. Hey, oh, I'm a good guy. You're fake, right? Okay. Okay. So we strive to stand by that policy because we want to be a brand and a business thing. We came up with that, right, to protect ourselves. Honesty is our best policy. We are believers in the old chivalry. Send and a man's word is his words, etc. Okay, it should be honoured by him and others, right? But that doesn't happen these days. Chivalry's long dead, right? Okay, who does all this? Nobody, right? We have no time for hype or fluff or other nonsense. Again, we do make mistakes. Yeah, get it out there, people. Realise it. We do make mistakes. You make mistakes. You're not perfect. No one's perfect. That's a fact. Okay, we make mistakes, which proves us human, right? Remember, to err is human, but to forgive is divine. Old Shakespeare speaker said that, didn't he? Yeah, pretty sure he said that. So we suggest you watch the study video we'll provide as an end screen, so you won't have any undefined words or misunderstoods. Okay, and don't go hitting us with, is that Scientology? Yeah, remember Scientology, all that sort of crap, because we're not. We used to be. I used to be ages ago, right? And I dropped out for different reasons that I realised. Okay, before I got too much into debt or something like that, right? Okay, so if you want to know about Scientology, I was only in there for a year, but ask me and I'll tell you in the comments, right? They don't come at us saying, oh, you're Scientologist, right? That's stupid and silly, right? Okay, we have no association with them, even though they used to live across the road. Okay, that's why we got out of that years ago. Okay, so we suggest you watch the study video. We'll provide it as an end screen so you won't have any undefined words or misunderstoods. We'll take us out of context, or out of context that we say. Okay, and then try to debunk us, attack us, ridicule us, etc. Right? Okay, as some people have done. Okay. You may not like the real truth. You might not be able to handle it, or because you're indoctrinated or have a hidden mission, motive, agenda, or are a propagandist, right? And you're trying to establish your organised religion, your denomination, or your opinion, belief system, view, whatever, right? Yeah, and you're trying to, you get all upset because your ego gets trampled on, gets exposed, gets trampled on. You get hurt, right? Because we expose you and your lies or your falsities or whatever, your mistakes, okay? And you don't like that. It's a neurocognitive thing, okay? As told us by a person who has probably now got a PhD. At the time she was going for a master's degree in that neurocognitive therapy thing she was into, right? Okay.